So what I'm talking to you about today, I'm just going to be straight to the point. It's going to be a relatively simple video, but I feel like it's going to be very helpful to those considering this. This is mainly for those who are considering about going to college for the first time. I just finished up my last semester of school last Friday. Today's Monday, and I'm recording this. It's been a lot of time for reflection. I'm somebody who took 7 years to figure out what he wanted to go to school for. And still ended up changing his major after the first semester. Since finishing up school, being a straight A student, having 2 jobs, I do have some advice that I want to share with people. It's just 3 pieces of advice that helped me get through school. If you decide to go to college again or for the first time, this really should help you. Nah, we'll just do it like this. Is this hat doing anything? I wear this hat because I got a light source right here and it's hitting this way. And I feel like because I'm shaved, the light source here is just creating another light source basically. So it's like reflecting the light off and it looks like just like a orb right here. That's why I'm wearing the hat, is just to kind of like, it's got this netting here. I'm like, maybe it'll break up the light a little bit. I don't know. My first piece of advice is to have the work ethic. Understand that you're gonna have to develop a work ethic unique to yourself. What I mean by work ethic is it's basically having the attitude and mentality to do the work when no one's watching. So if you watch those motivational videos, they always talk about doing the work when no one's watching. That's pretty much the work ethic that you need to have for college, for about any degree. I assume any degree, because you're paying a premium to get this education, and I feel like there's gonna be some nights to where you're gonna have to consider, do I stay up late and finish this work or learn this new idea, or do I just hang out with some friends, or do I just scroll on TikTok for the rest of the night and not really do anything school related and be okay with getting a B or a C? For me, I wasn't really okay with getting a B or a C. There's been a couple times I received an 89 or whatever out of 100, for example. So it would be just so close to an A, and I would be so upset because I'm just like, I was that close to getting an A, even like a perfect score in that class. So my work ethic was pretty extreme, and there would be some days like I would go to the gym. My schedule pretty much like on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, except Saturdays. I wouldn't go to the gym in the morning on Saturdays, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would have to go work out in the mornings because a lot of my classes began at 9 or 10 around there. So I would get to the gym around 6, and the people at the gym would almost weekly say, bro, you look so dead. There was a couple times it was quite literally, bro, you look so dead. And it was like, I know I am dead, because I only got 4 hours of sleep. I would get used to getting 4 hours of sleep. Like that became my norm, where if I got more than 4 hours, I felt pretty lethargic. And if I got less than 4 hours, I was wiped out. Like I felt it. But my body still did reflect that I was getting only 4 hours of sleep, and that was in front of a screen all the time. My eyes were so dark, and like the eye paint that Batman wore in like those 3 Batman movies. There'd be some days where I just couldn't stay up super late. I had to go to bed at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock and call it a night. And that was pretty early for me because I just couldn't maintain that 120%. But then there was a lot of nights where I was just like full gas, full throttle, working on projects every single day, working on like those busy work assignments that instructors tend to give us every single day. I had people telling me like, you don't need to do this every day, but I wanted my projects, especially like more creative projects, to be as close to perfect as possible. Like I wanted to try to just produce the best result that I could. So I would tend to work on a project every single day, even though I didn't need to, even though I was way ahead of schedule. Like if I had a timeline here and I'm supposed to be like this percent, like I'm supposed to be 25% done by this week, 50% done by this week, 100% done by this week, I was making sure like I was at least 1 or 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And that allowed for like times if there's something that happened in the family and I had to go somewhere, which nothing happened thankfully, that just allowed time for like life to happen. If I fell behind because I was super tired, hey, at least I'm still a week ahead instead of just 2 weeks, or at least I'm a week ahead instead of right on schedule. It's going to be different for everybody. Maybe you'll just find, hey, I'm very capable at this, I'm very skilled at this, I don't need to be staying up till 1 o'clock like Tanner did. That's great for you, as long as you identified the work ethic that your degree, that your studies are demanding. I sound super serious. I don't mean to sound super serious, but I mean, I am very passionate about this idea of actually trying at college. And that's just because I took 7 years to decide what I wanted to go to school for. I knew going throughout high school I wanted to go to college. I just didn't know what I wanted to invest my money into, what I wanted to do for quote unquote the rest of my life. That's how I looked at it too. I thought, well, if I am going to do something for the rest of my life, that I have to assume I will not allow myself to retire. I could have the financial freedom to retire, but I'm just assuming I'm not going to retire. So what do I want to do for every single day of my life? I did that on purpose because that really made me identify what am I going to do. And to some people, they don't want to think like that. They just want to think, what am I going to be happy with doing Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 or whatever. For me, it was a very daunting idea. It was a very scary idea. And I was like, oh my God, like, do this for the rest of my life? Well, okay, we have to assume I'm going to be doing it Sunday through Saturday from 1 in the morning to midnight, and I have to be happy with it. So my second tip, this is for it while you're in school, no matter what your degree is, whether it's creative or not. Show your work. Document your whole process throughout college. Like, just every semester, make it a goal to at least capture some moments in your semester to show the work that you're doing. And you can share this on social media easily. It's just easily make a reel or a post about it and talk about it. And especially if you're a creative person, start capturing like your work process. Like, if you're working on a project you're very excited about, make sure you keep all your sketches, all your prototypes, your final design. If you're a web designer, keep all your wireframes. Take screenshots of what it looked like at this point, take screenshots of what it looks like at this point, take screenshots of what it looks like when you're done. Write about it. Just write your thoughts about it, write what was going on, write what speed bumps you ran into, write what ideas that you just stumbled upon by accident that turned out to be great ideas. Save all of that, because people are going to want to see how you work. What's your process like? How'd your process evolve from this time to this time? How'd you figure out this problem? How'd you come up with that logo design? That's a very interesting logo. How'd you come up with it? Did you just go on Google Images? Or did you just like start sketching like rapid fire, like a madman, and you're like, oh, that's a really good idea, which that's how I came up with my logo. Like this logo, I just started like drawing all these different ideas that were coming to my head, and it was really like a fireworks show. I was just going, ugh. And I had something that looked similar to this, and I wrote, ooh, like I really liked it because it made me excited. It's a T and an S, in case you can't tell. It's a T and that's an S, and it looks, but yeah, that's another video. I have projects that I still show off today. That's from like my first semester because they were just that good. I was just squeezing that lemon, getting all that juice out of it, making the best lemonade on the block. Wow. Yeah, show your work. You will thank yourself in the future for doing that. And you don't need to be in a creative degree to do that. Explain your process, tell people how you think, because they're gonna wanna know how you think. The last final tip, so yeah, I feel like we're like streamlining this, like we're just getting straight to the points here. Last and final tip is just to embrace college. If you're deciding, you know what, I watched Tanner's video, I think I'm gonna do college, embrace it. Just accept the idea that I might have an all-nighter here or there. It's not gonna be every single day of your college life, I promise you. It's not gonna be that way unless you just suck. I feel like I struggle retaining things on the first try. I have to go over it a few times. That's normal. We're not computers. If you just type in like data once, we're not going to remember it all the time. And if that's you, I'm very jealous of you. There are people like that, and it's ridiculous. Except that there's going to be an all-nighter here or there. It might just be on a Tuesday night. You might not get any sleep, or you might just get 2 hours of sleep. You might not get a perfect score on every single exam. That could be your standard, and that's great. It's great to shoot as high as you can so you land among the stars, but you might not get a perfect score on every single exam or every single project, and that's okay. That's part of the college experience. When I was growing up, my dad told me at one point, he said, if you go to college is basically going to be your job. Your job requirements are going to be to study and retain all the information that you're acquiring from your studies and do as well as you can. And that's going to be your job. Aside from whatever part-time or full-time job that you have too on the side to, support your income. That doesn't mean throughout that time you're not going to make any friends. Pro tip, make some connections. It's great for networking opportunities in the future. Because if your friend here gets a job and then their employer is like, hey, you know what? We need somebody else like you. We didn't think we did at the time of interviewing you, but we need a second person like you. Do you have any recommendations? And they'll be like, oh, Tanner here, he's a great student. He's actually better than me. He's been able to maintain straight A's and he's a classroom example. You should interview him too. Here's his social media or here's a way to get in contact with him. But that's part of the college experience, is making friends, having those networking opportunities, embracing the all-nighters, the early mornings, moments where you completely forget to eat the entire day. All in all, to say though, I enjoyed my college experience. I was an extreme case to where I embraced the dark circles under my eyes. I embraced the lack of sleep, the weakness and fatigue that I felt the moment I walked into the gym from the previous night of school. But that's just because I was in a creative degree and I really worked hard to make sure my projects were as good as they possibly could be. Not everyone's that extreme case. Set your standards to be that way. Just do your best. That's college. All you can say is you did your best, and that's the most satisfying thing, is to know that you did your best. But anyway, those are my 3 tips for school. Let me know if you have any questions below in the comments below. If you did like this video in any way, if it helped you with deciding whether or not you want to go to college, which if you don't want to go to college, that's totally fine. No one needs to go to college. You can learn a lot of things on your own time. I wanted that college experience, so I desired that form of education, and I got it, and I loved it, and I don't regret it. But anyway, if you made it to the end of this video, you're the real one. I really do appreciate you watching this video. Hit the like button if you did, and consider subscribing because I'm wanting to make more videos. But I am more active on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at TheyCallMeTanner. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. There was nights I only got 2 hours of sleep. And if you are able to wake up, you just feel like, oh, I'm just, I'm cruising right now. But that next day, at least for me, that next day is when it hits you. So don't make any plans to like break any records or anything in the gym that next day. Because it will smack you in the face and bring you down.